Imagine this. Two people earn the same salary, same job, same city, same opportunities. But one of them is constantly stressed about money, checking their bank balance before every purchase, hoping nothing unexpected happens. And the other, calm, in control, sleeping peacefully, even if they lost their income tomorrow. Here's the strange part. The difference isn't how much they earn, it's how simple their money rules are. Because financial stability isn't built on complexity, it's built on clarity. And today, you're going to learn the minimalist money rules that quietly separate people who always feel almost broke from those who always feel in control. Most people think managing money requires complicated systems, budgets with 20 categories, tracking every expense, watching stock markets daily, reading endless financial advice. But here's the truth, no one tells you. The more complicated your money system is, the more likely you are to fail at following it. Because humans are not logical machines, we are emotional, distracted, and inconsistent. We don't fail because we don't know what to do. We fail because what we're trying to do is too complex to maintain. Think about it. Have you ever tried to start fresh with your finances? You download an app, create a detailed plan, feel motivated for a few days, and then life happens. You get busy, you forget, you give up, and slowly everything goes back to normal. This is the hidden problem, not lack of knowledge, but lack of simplicity. And that's why minimalist money rules work. They remove friction, they reduce decisions, they make good financial behavior almost automatic. Let's break this down step by step. Minimalist money rules are not about doing more, they're about doing less, but doing it consistently. And there are a few core rules that create almost all of your financial stability. Rule number 1. Always spend less than you earn, no exceptions. This sounds obvious, but most people don't actually follow it, not because they're careless, but because of something called lifestyle creep. Every time income increases, spending quietly increases too. You get a raise, and suddenly better food, better clothes, better gadgets feel normal. So even though you earn more, you don't feel richer. You just feel the same. This is a psychological trap. Your brain adapts to comfort very quickly. What once felt like a luxury becomes a necessity. Minimalist thinking breaks this cycle. Instead of asking, "What more can I afford now?" you ask, "What can I keep simple?" Because the gap between what you earn and what you spend, that gap is your freedom. No gap equals no stability. Rule number 2, reduce fixed expenses first. Most people try to save money by cutting small things, skipping coffee, avoiding snacks, finding tiny discounts. But that rarely works long term. Why? Because small daily decisions require constant willpower, and willpower runs out. Minimalist money focuses on big fixed expenses, things like rent, car payments, subscriptions. Because once you lower these, you don't have to keep deciding again and again. For example, choosing a slightly cheaper apartment or not upgrading your phone every year does more for your finances than cutting 100 small expenses. It's like carrying a heavy backpack. You can either remove one small item at a time or just drop the heaviest thing. Minimalist money always drops the heaviest thing. Rule number 3, automate your financial life. Here's something interesting. The more decisions you have to make about money, the worse your decisions become. This is called decision fatigue. By the end of the day, your brain is tired, and tired brains choose convenience, not discipline. That's why automation is powerful. You don't rely on motivation, you remove the need to decide. Set up automatic transfers. The moment your income arrives, a portion goes to savings, a portion goes to investments, and what's left? That's what you can spend. No thinking, no debating, just a system running quietly in the background. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't debate whether to do it, it just happens. That's how your finances should feel. Rule number 4, build a calm fund before anything else. Most people call it an emergency fund, but let's call it what it really is, a calm fund, because its real purpose is not just money, it's peace of mind. Without it, every unexpected expense feels like a crisis. a medical bill, a car repair, a sudden loss of income. Without a buffer, you're forced into bad decisions, debt, panic, selling things at the worst time. But with a calm fund, the same situation feels manageable. Nothing changes externally, but internally, everything changes. You feel in control, and that changes how you behave. Minimalist rule. Before investing aggressively, before chasing returns, build enough savings to handle life, because stability comes before growth. Always. Rule number 5. Avoid financial complexity that doesn't serve you. There's a strange belief that more complex equals more advanced. But in money, complexity often hides confusion. Too many bank accounts, too many investments, too many strategies, and suddenly you don't really understand what's happening. So you avoid looking at it altogether. Minimalist finance simplifies everything. 1 or 2 accounts, simple investment approach, clear system. Because if you can't explain your financial setup in a few sentences, you probably don't fully control it. And what you don't control eventually controls you. Rule number 6. Focus on behavior, not perfection. Here's one of the biggest misconceptions about money. People think successful individuals are perfect with money. They're not. They just have better default behaviors. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems. Minimalist rules are not about being perfect every day. They're about making the right behavior easier than the wrong one. For example, if saving happens automatically, you don't need discipline. If your expenses are already low, you don't need constant budgeting. If your system is simple, you don't feel overwhelmed. And when things are easy, you actually stick to them. Now here's the deeper idea that changes everything. Financial stability is not about how smart you are. It's about how little friction exists between you and good decisions. Most people design their financial life like a complicated machine. Lots of parts, lots of effort, constant maintenance. But minimalist money works like gravity. Simple rules, always pulling you in the right direction, without effort. Because the real enemy isn't lack of knowledge, it's inconsistent. And the more complex your system, the harder it is to stay consistent. That's why some people earning average incomes feel stable, while others earning much more feel constantly stressed. It's not income, it's structure. So what should you actually do after watching this? Don't try to fix everything. That's the mistake. Instead, simplify. Start with just a few moves. Make sure you're always spending less than you earn. Look at your biggest expenses and reduce one. Set up automatic saving, even if it's small. Build a basic calm fund and remove anything in your financial life that feels unnecessarily complicated. That's it. No extreme budgeting, no complicated strategies, just simple rules followed consistently. Because in the end, financial stability isn't built in one big decision. It's built on small decisions that become automatic. Here's something worth thinking about. The goal of money is not to impress others. It's not to look rich. It's not to chase every opportunity. The real goal is to feel calm, to know that no matter what happens, you're okay. And that kind of stability doesn't come from doing more. It comes from removing what doesn't matter and focusing on only what does. So instead of asking, how can I make my finances more advanced? Start asking, how can I make this so simple I can follow it for the next 10 years? Because the people who win with money are not the ones who know the most. They're the ones who stick to the basics the longest. And that's the real minimalist advantage.